Welcome to the hottest happy hour in STL with the In Your City show, and I'm Kelly.
And I'm Gordon.
And we want to give a big shout out to City Lifestyle Magazines for presenting this show, Clayton, St. Charles, and of course, Chesterfield. City Lifestyle Magazine's going to 45,000 homes every month, plus over 3,000 businesses. We're in the offices. We hear people say they were in the doctor's office and, hey, I saw your magazine, or they call about an article. So our August issue is already out. Our July issue is out right now, of course, finishing the month, but our July issue is out, and on the cover, we've got John Hamm in his football days right here for our August Kids and Pets issue. And then on our Chesterfield issue, we have got the Boy Scouts of America. They're so adorable on the front cover of our Chesterfield issue. And then I don't seem to have a copy in here of our, oh, there it is, our St. Charles issue right here, Canine Innovations. The wife and husband, along with their adorable little dog, they are on the cover of our St. Charles issue because they've got an incredible product that actually we use with Olive and Louie. And man,
Gut health and fur health, and
well, definitely fur health, because I am not cleaning up the hair all
not
over the
like it
floor
used to be.
like I normally do. So quite incredible there. But great issues. They're out now. We hope you enjoy them. And then today, wow, today is all about the music. So we are
It is.
literally going to be tapping our toes here on the In Your City show. We've got Jeff Faulkner. He's a seasoned singer and songwriter for over 30 years in the biz, and whose soulful sound is going to come in here and talk to us and find out about some great, I guess, concert that he has going on, along with a vibe shift with Devon Cahill, an indie folk singer from St. Louis. Her unique sound blends wistful folk, honky-tonk, and jazz. That sounds like a cool mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah, from her early TV and stage roots to being handpicked by Norbert Leo Butz to perform Bob Dylan's music in New York City. That's a cool thing. We're definitely going to have to ask about that. And then, of course, I know you, so it's a dumb question to even ask you. I know you love road trips. Have you always loved them, even as a kid?
Yes.
I think they
I think
can't.
that's where you know what, but we grew up in a time period where we took a lot of road trips,
Yeah,
and
I
Route
think.
66 was the highway. I mean, Route 66 was one of the first major highways, and that's where
I guess a lot of.
everybody took advantage of creating all these roadside attractions, like the biggest alligator you've ever seen in your life, the biggest ball of string.
Right.
And another really cool thing about taking road trips was like diners, small little diners you'd stop at. I can just, one of my favorite things is like when there's one over in Davenport, Iowa, where I used to do MMA fight stuff for the lighting and staging. I never fought. I was just so let's get that right out
Thank
there.
goodness.
But I remember this going into this one place, and they had the big glass case that spun around, and it had the pies
Pies.
in it, the chocolate pie, the
Even as a
strawberry
kid, you
pie,
had
the
those.
blueberry pies, and then you just see it, and it just makes you want one. It's like it was
Road
so
trips are
cool.
relaxing as well. When you're leaving for the airplane or the airport, you're stressed trying to get there, and you got to go through the lines, the TSA, and just making sure you haven't forgotten anything. And it's like when you leave in the car, you're not exactly set. You want to try to leave at a certain time to make sure you're getting on the road and getting there, but it's a little more relaxed with getting out the door, making sure you have everything, and just I always have to have my pillow, of course. I have to bring my pillow along, but it's a little bit more relaxed and fun when you get there. Now the ride home, not so much. So I wonder if you maybe take it one direction one way, and sometimes I guess that can't always happen where you could take another direction the other way, because going is exciting. It seems like it takes forever when you're going because you're anticipating getting there, but then going home, you're kind of tired from the trip. So sometimes it's like, what can help you be excited for the way home?
And road trips when we were kids were like, they were an adventure anyway, because you either had we had station. Did you ever have a station wagon?
No, I mean, my grandparents rented one time, for going on a trip, but we never owned one. I always wanted one though.
We had station wagons, so I can remember as a kid getting to sit in the back where the seat's facing the other
You didn't have to
direction.
wear a seatbelt. You just fly all over the
Yeah,
place
and you're
back then.
facing the other direction. You're waving at the truck drivers, trying to get them to honk their horn. And
Lay up in that window in the back. the dog, if we bring
Oh, yeah.
the dog was always up in the window in the back, but you could get up there. Or the cool thing was the campers. They had the camper that overwent the top of the where you drive.
Right.
What would you call those? It wasn't a camper attached to your car. It was a camper that went up above, the cabin.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a name for them, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. And
Those are really cool. Now you can't do that anymore. You're not allowed to ride if it's attached to your car or it's on the bed of your truck above it. You're not allowed to ride. That was what was so fun, was sitting up in that window looking out, giving peace signs.
I remember my friend, his dad had one of those that were they just sit in the pickup truck bed of your
Yeah.
truck, and then they kind of fit over the top. But I remember he had one, and we just play in it all the time, open it up, and we weren't on a trip, but we were.
I'm surprised they haven't thought of something really cool, like a whole new way to do that. Somehow brought that back, but better.
Had the little windows in it where you'd crank them, and the little louver windows would open up.
We didn't care if we were sweating in there. We
No,
wanted to ride in
they're having
there.
a
Those were
crazy
fun
time.
days.
Yeah,
My parents' friends had one of those. So when we would go to the river or camping or whatever, we'd get to ride in that truck. So, all right. So I have the perfect road trip.
okay, what is it?
And I know we've been to Nashville, but we've really never been to Nashville and really been adventurous to see. It's always been that drive through. We haven't actually stayed. Isn't that silly? How come you have a long time ago, but we haven't?
No.
Because didn't you sing there? Or was that in Mississippi where you sang at the record studio?
Oh, Nashville. No, we stayed. It was in Nashville.
Or that
I stayed in Nashville overnight.
so Sun Records, that wasn't there. That was
Yeah, we've stayed in Nashville before.
just stayed, but we didn't go touring and to the bars
Right.
and all the different places.
No, that was an experience, getting to go to Sun Records and actually
Yeah.
record into Sun Studios. We were there till like 3 o'clock in the morning, recording in the same studio that Elvis and the $1 Million Quartet, Johnny Cash, and
Looks a little different now. It's very touristy.
well, Sun Records is the same.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, they kind of, it's the same. U2 recorded there. So many bands have recorded there in that studio.
Well, that's the cool thing about taking a road trip. See, so from
experiences.
right.
Yeah.
So St. Louis, Nashville's just 300 miles, so it's just 5 hours. So it's what, 4.5 to go to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not far. But what they say spring or fall is actually when the scenery is the most beautiful, obviously. But anytime is a great time to go. But they're saying take some stops along the way. So St. Genevieve, that'd be 1 hour into the trip. And you can walk the historic district, sip some wine, maybe not too much if you're going to be driving. Chalmette Vineyards, Cave Vineyard. And then why would you stop there? Well, it's the Missouri's oldest town with charming French colonial architectural. You can stop in Cape Girardeau then after that. They say that a bonus in Cape Girardeau is to make sure to grab a donut from My Daddy's Cheesecake. Have you ever heard of that place?
Grab a donut from a cheesecake place.
I know, but it's a donut. So I'm assuming it is a cheesecake donut.
I'm ready to just take a drive right now.
There, we're starving. Then Paducah, Kentucky. That's the creative city of craft and folk art. So I'm not sure you'll get real excited about this, but they do have the National Quilt Museum there. I'm not so sure that I'm ready to tour that, but I'm sure there's people that might want to. You want to stop at the Ball of Yarn, so you may want to see that.
Yeah, the Quilt Museum, I don't know about, but
a fun fact about that is they host live music and food truck nights. It seems like a lot of people have those fun things like that. So between the lakes of Kentucky and Tennessee, it's obviously some great photo ops in there. Hike, picnic. Do you like to hike? I don't think we've ever hiked before.
I do like to hike. Remember I told you I hiked that when we were in the
going
boat.
To Canada.
No, we were. No,
that
was a hike.
Want to get them started on Canada.
But we went to when we were in the boat, and we were down by oh my gosh, Illinois, the place that's got great fried chicken when we take the boat.
Oh, Grafton.
Not down from Grafton.
Okay, Portage-de-Sioux.
Portage-de-Sioux.
Okay.
No, not Portage-de-Sioux.
Okay, I don't know where to go.
Jeff
right
knows.
now.
Jeff just joined.
Where are we? I mean,
Pierre Marquette. Pierre Marquette.
That's
what I'm thinking of.
We've gotten fried chicken ever.
But up behind Pierre Marquette, you can go up and go to the very top, and it's quite a hike.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's good stuff.
Yep.
All right, so you get your final destination. What are we going to see in Nashville?
Johnny Cash Museum.
Yeah, that would be
Country
fun.
Music Hall of Fame, which I've never been to.
But the Broadway honky-tonk. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Honky-tonks. The Bluebird Cafe.
I've stayed at the Grand Ole Opry Hotel before,
Oh, that would be fun.
and that was really cool. Everything is like remember it's like a holodome on steroids. Remember
Okay.
holodomes?
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do. And then how about Hattie B's Hot Chicken? That's what to eat. The Five Daughters Bakery. And then of course, if you want to
Oh,
get
you
some
got it on
worthy,
here.
yeah.
The
And
Gaylord Opryland Resort.
there you go. And then of course, the worthy spots for that you want to get your picture is the I Believe in Nashville mural, the pedestrian bridge at Sunset, and the Bicentennial Capitol Mall Park. So some good stuff. And then, if we have some time, maybe we can go over maybe some road trip tips to plan, to get the right vibes going there while you're obviously you want to get the right playlist, right? Maybe we can
That's
talk a little
right.
music with Jeff and find out about that. And then of course, some of the there's some great tips here for, taking a safe or a fun and safe trip, I guess. But so I don't think we've ever thought about that before. But something to think about on a road trip is an emergency kit, like water, batter. Like we've left many times battery cables, or right? Is that what they're called?
Right.
Yeah, like
Shepherd tables.
yeah, and there's like a list here, like making sure that you have battery cables, a first aid kit, a flashlight, maybe a jug of water, and then a gas, unless you have an electric car, I guess, but maybe a generator if not to be able to do that. But and a paper map just in case. You don't really think about that if your cell phone's not working or if something happens. Kind of taking it old school when you road trip because you never know along some of those roads that you're on when
The
you're
Road
taking a
Atlas.
trip.
It's got every map in it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're in the middle of nowhere for a while. There is no gas station. There is no
I can remember breaking down in a car with my dad many times as a kid. Like something would happen. The radiator would overheat or
yeah, I
something.
mean, you never know,
Yeah.
right? So, well, Jeff, we are so excited to hear you've got a little mic right next to you on the table that you can put on your lapel so that everyone else can hear you just besides us. So thanks
Got
for
it.
coming. It's nice to see you again.
Thanks for having
We
me.
had you over at the In Your City show at the other studio when we were doing our shows there and got to have a nice interview. And now you've got other stuff coming in. Did you say you were going to show something?
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Got it.
intertwined together
Alright,
and he
there we go.
a little more soulfulness about you.
Very
So
nice.
thank you and
Yeah.
welcome to the show. We appreciate it. So 30 years you've been in the music industry.
Roundabouts, maybe a little bit more.
We
Yeah.
don't want to talk about that, do we?
It
About how long it's been.
kinda
Yeah.
gives my age away. know.
You brought your guitar.
I love that.
You
I
probably
did.
should pull that out and just kind of have it ready and handy to go.
Sure, I
Because
could do that. Yeah.
love to see that. And if that pillow there is too much, you can just throw that on the floor. Some people like it in the back, and some people it is definitely in their way. So, what kind of guitar do you play? Several guitars?
I got lots of them. Yeah.
Really?
All right. Let's
We're at
let's
the
hear how
concert
many.
with the-
Well, I mean, I don't probably have as many as a lot of guitar players. I probably got about 10 or 11.
Because at the
Yeah.
concert the other night, it was like the guy just kept coming, bringing the guy another guitar. And I'm like,
Yeah.
definitely not ending. They're playing another song because he keeps bringing him another guitar. We knew it wasn't
Yeah.
going to end.
My thing is if I've got a guitar, it's going to get played. I don't want to buy a guitar and just have it sitting there collecting dust.
Yeah.
The guitars and all the guitars I own, I play them regularly. But
Do you have your favorite?
my favorite is probably a K-line Jazz Master that I bought off a guy named Kevin Crolian, who builds guitars here in St. Louis, and currently having him build me another guitar. But that Jazz Master he built for me, just and he built it to my specs and everything, so it's a custom made guitar. But that body shape just fits me really well, and it just plays great and sounds great no matter what kind of music I'm playing with it. It sounds great.
Super.
It's one of those guitars I can use in any project I'm doing and to work.
Love that.
You notice how big his hands are? So it's like what they say about big. It's like you can play guitar.
Say about big hands. You can play the guitar well.
Wide stretch though on those fretboards,
I
man.
don't quite have the Steve Vai fingers, but his
Yeah.
fingers are like
It's crazy.
foot long. But yeah, I know some of my friends have like, they got like, you know, chunkier fingers, man. It makes it a little harder for them to play.
You know what I noticed when I saw Chuck Berry was how big his hands were.
His hands are huge.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was like,
You
holy
get, like, 2
mackerel.
guitars at the
Yeah.
same
Oh,
time?
he was a tall guy,
Yeah.
you know. I got a chance to open for him at the Duck Room once, and that was the only time I ever got a chance to see him as well. And he was so cool, and you know, it was an honor, and the place was just, I mean, you know, he would put out tickets on sale at the Duck Room for his shows, and they would sell out in like 3 minutes, you know. But it was just a fun experience to play in front of his crowd, and
Yeah,
I didn't
bet.
see him do his thing, you know. It
Yeah.
was great.
So take us back 30 years. How did this all begin with you? How did it all start for you to get into music? What was it that was like, I got to do this?
So I started playing guitar probably around 12, 13. Up to that point, I played sports and was really into baseball, and you know, baseball was like my thing. You know, I loved baseball, and
That height, you've been great at first base.
Yeah.
yeah, I was a catcher.
Wow,
and,
it's a tall body to have to be down
yeah,
there on your knees.
I wanted to do something where because they put me in the outfield first, and I was just standing out there all the time. I'm like, man, this is boring. I want to be involved. You know?
It's boring.
So catcher,
Just
like,
here
you're
for the
involved.
snow cones after the game.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, catcher, you're involved in every play. You know, it's a pretty active position.
Sure are.
But started playing guitar around 12 or 13. My cousin's friend brought a little practice amp and his guitar over to my cousin's house, and we were sitting in his room, and his friend started playing like Crazy Train or something, and it just blew me away that he was able to do that, you know. And I mean, it caught me right then and there. And you know, I went and got a guitar and started playing, and started to realize it was taking me a lot less time to learn stuff than it was taking my other friends who were playing. It's taking them like twice as long to learn stuff. I was picking it up quick, you know.
Natural.
So I realized, I mean, I found what I was good at and really young.
Do you read music?
I don't read music. No.
I always find that interesting because like Paul McCartney doesn't read music, you know. I don't, you throw music in front of me, I'm totally lost, you know. I play all by ear.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have gone in and learned to do that. And it's never too late. But you know, I never really professionally studied with anybody, or, you know, concentrated on taking lessons from anybody till really like maybe 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. And it was one of the smartest things I ever did, you know, but up until that point, I had just learned everything on my own.
Problem with learning music, once you've already learned how to play and done everything, you feel like it's slowing you down. And you feel like you get impatient. And you're like, okay, this is taking longer than I wanted to. I just want to listen to it and play it. I don't want to have to try and do this.
Teaching yourself, you're going to eventually get to a point where you've picked up everything by ear that you're going to pick up. And at that point, you need to take lessons. You need to start getting into music theory, and you know, for me, you know, getting into theory has really helped me as a musician. I don't really feel like it's a must to dive into it like wholeheartedly and study it day in, day out kind of thing. But just a basic understanding of theory, like, it helps you so much. It can help you so much. And until you really grasp a basic understanding of music theory, you're not going to really advance until you get some sort of semblance of cognition of that, you know. But it's certainly helped me. You know, when I went in to take lessons around 10, 15 years ago with a guy who teaches that's here, you know, we dove right into theory, you know. And I would meet with him for a half hour at a time, and each time, man, I would learn so much, you know. And he'd give me all kinds of stuff to work on. I'd work on it, come back, and we just kind of repeated that for about 6 months, you know. And
what's the first stage you played on?
First,
remember it? That just really inspired you.
The first big stage that made you go, wow.
My earliest memory of performing live was at a high school talent show.
Oh,
you know,
fun.
and me and like 3 other friends played a Guns N' Roses song. And I remember, and it was we won the talent show,
Oh, that's great.
but the whole place, like we got a standing ovation, the whole school. It was like 500 kids stood up.
Your girlfriends lined up for
Cheered.
miles.
Yeah, right.
Getting bubblegum
Yeah.
rings.
People didn't look at you the same in high school anymore.
Yeah. So that was my first real taste of adoration,
Yeah.
and it was like, wow, man, I'm just playing my guitar and I'm getting that kind of response from people. But
Music moves people.
it
at all
does,
ages.
yeah, and it runs in my family. There's a lot of musicians on my mom's side of the family, so that's more than likely where I got it from. But I figured, like I said, I was very lucky and figured out what I was good at pretty early. Music has just always been, it's always come very natural to me.
So what was that like for you with family members being able to play musicians? I know I interviewed Pat Liston and his whole family played. So there would be like Sunday afternoons, they just get together and jam and play.
Yeah.
Is that
So
kind of like?
my mom's side of the family, like she grew up in the Farmington area, Bismarck, Missouri area. So it's out in the country, like they're out in the boonies. And my mom comes from a family of 12 kids.
Wow.
Big family. And like almost all of them could play guitar and sing like really well.
You guys have an orchestra instead of a family band.
And they all grew up on old school country music. It was all country.
There's a tear in
Hank
my
Williams.
beer.
I mean, Hank Williams, Conway Twitty, Johnny Cash, you go on and on and on, like all the old stuff, Merle Haggard, George Jones, and so anytime we'd go to my grandparents' house, they would all sit around with guitars and play and sing all that stuff until the wee hours of the morning.
That's so awesome.
So it to this day, I have a very a close bond with that music. I love old school country music because of that. And it is great stuff. It's lyrically, it had a lot of depth to it. Not musically complicated by any means, but it was all about the lyrics, all about the truth, 3 chords and the truth kind of thing.
Yep, CDG, and how many different ways can we play it? Yeah.
Let's find out a little bit about Mr. Blue Sky. We don't want to run out of time, and then make sure we want to hear a little bit of you as well. So tell us a little bit.
Started it about 6 years ago. And, I was just wanting to dip my toe into the tribute band thing. And I'd been a hardcore ELO fan since I was 16 years old, 17 years old.
Like you wearing a wig?
Yeah, that's me wearing a wig. Yeah, most people don't know it's me. And
go keep it.
But you got, if you're gonna do an Electric Light Orchestra tribute,
you gotta look the part.
See,
you gotta do the wigging. You gotta do the Jeff Lynne hair and the glasses. I caught some flack from other musicians in town for doing it, but I'm like, hey, you know what, man?
There's something about being in almost like a costume. Don't you feel it more even?
Well, to me, it would be like doing a Kiss tribute and not wearing the makeup.
That wouldn't make sense.
I disagree with those other musicians. I agree with you. If you're going to do a tribute band, I don't like going to see tribute bands that don't look like a tribute band or even try to look like or sound like a tribute band. If you're going to do it right.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Or going to the Beatles.
I'm of that ilk as well. And what's great about ELO is that I'm the only one that really needs to look like Jeff Lynne. Everybody else can dress however they want to dress. I mean, of the other guys who played in ELO back in the 70s, some of them are pretty well known, like Bev Bevan and Roy Wood and those guys. But Jeff Lynne is, you think of ELO, you think of Jeff Lynne, and you think of the Afro 70s Afro hair and the glasses. So it's just a part of the gig. You got to do that.
And even the original bands today are mostly tribute bands because there's usually only 1 or 2 original members left with them anymore.
Yeah.
When you go, we're going to go see Toto on the 5th, and
I'm going to be there.
Steve Lukather's the only original member.
Original
member.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and that's becoming more and more common now. I went to Earth, Wind and Fire last Tuesday, and they were incredible. But there was 2 original guys, and
the bass player.
There were 12 people up there. 2 of the guys were Verdine White is still with them. but he wasn't with them this past Tuesday because he
Okay.
had a medical procedure done. He's on tour with them right now. But Philip Bailey and then the other singer who used to be their drummer when they started
that's
the
right, yeah.
band they're the only two guys in the band out of the 12 people. So yeah, it's becoming more and more common. And Jeff Lynne just wrapped up his he was going to do a final show at Hyde Park, and it got canceled because of his health took a turn for the worst.
Oh,
But he's officially done touring now. Like he's done. So the only way to hear this music live is to come
yeah, to
see
see it.
us.
So,
Yeah.
and tell us when that is going to be happening.
It's going to be this Friday, August 1st, Chesterfield Amphitheater. Tickets are going through Eventbrite, and you can get them also through our website, MrBlueSkyMusic.com. And this will be our 4th time out there, and we always bring a huge light show. You guys have
We
come
were
out to
there
see it.
last year.
Yeah.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's always a big production, and
So the weather will cool
more
off for you a little bit.
importantly, the weather
Yes, it's
is
supposed to be great.
it's going to be a high of 80 degrees.
Oh,
I know,
aren't
so it's
you
gonna be
happy?
beautiful.
So
That's
it's going to be
gorgeous.
absolutely perfect. Chesterfield Amphitheater, if you haven't checked it out, it is one of the most beautiful places in St. Louis. Great. Every seat's a great seat there. It sounds great in there. It's just always a really fun time.
Well, before we take it to break, which we will have to do, why don't you take us out?
Sailing away on the crest of a wave, it's like magic. Oh, rolling, riding, slipping and sliding, it's magic. And you, hey, you're sweet as love. You took me, oh, higher and higher, baby. It's a living thing. It's a terrible thing to lose. It's a given thing. What a terrible thing to lose.
All right, we are back with the hottest happy hour in STL. I wish we had a cocktail right now with all these great musicians. I feel like I should be like in a great seat listening to them on stage with a perfect cocktail in my hand, or a mocktail if you don't want any alcohol in it, but it seems like a waste. Just kidding. Just kidding. So before we get going and you get to meet the talented Devon Cahill, I have to tell you about another talented person. That's Jennifer Williams. She is the owner of St. Louis Closet Company, St. Louis Closet Co. Put a little period at the end of there. Jennifer is incredible. She's been in business for over 30 years, and we love what she does. We love the community support that she also offers, and that she's locally manufactured. I think that's one of the coolest things to say about her business. She has this gorgeous building over off of Big Bend, there in Maplewood. They do all of their manufacturing right there on site. If you're there, you can literally see her team back there working on the different designs that they're creating. It doesn't matter how small or how big, if it's your garage, your closet, your bedroom, maybe it's an office studio, who knows what it might be, small or large, she does it all. And you know, it really is. It shows the support and the type of business that she does, that she's going on 35 years now designing. She's got a brand new, if you've been in there before, there are actually some new designs that she's just put in there. So there's always something new that she's coming up with to show you how you can make your life simpler, more organized, and calm. And that's what she says. Go from chaos to calm, go from chaos to clarity by getting organized. And it truly does make a difference. You can find things, you know where things are, and it just really takes a little bit of pressure and and stress off of you when you've got things organized. So thank you to Jennifer Williams being a part of In Your City show. We really appreciate you and all that you do for the cities around us. So now let us introduce you to an indie singer songwriter, Devon Cahill. You can go to devoncahill.bandcamp, one day at Bandcamp,
Right.
devoncahill.bandcamp.com, and be able to also check out all of her music and your events, things that are going on in your life. So I'm excited to have you on. I love, we have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but Soul Strings is usually our Tuesday, unless there's an event and we're trying to get someone in quickly. We love Tuesdays. Gordon's one of his favorite Soul Strings episode where we get to find out deeper, just not about the music, but what brings the music to your soul and hopefully lightens up our soul, as well doing that. But I think
Bring us into the mood.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
hear something.
let's bring us into the mood.
All right, let's just I'm gonna play this is my newest song. This is called
But what I wanted to say before Gordon said that is a woman. We don't ever have women in here playing music. So
Oh.
when you were brought to our attention, I was so excited to finally have a woman in here playing music. It's always a bunch of guys.
Well,
So I feel right at home.
Well, here I am. Let's do this thing. I am indeed a woman, and I'm gonna play a song
I'm
that
indeed a woman.
I wrote.
Oh, I love
It's called Ghost, and I'm just gonna go right into it. I was hoping for you to know me the way I knew you, but you couldn't see it through. Ego too large to undo, and the way I saw it was maybe you changed just because you loved me and I loved you, but I held my bigger thoughts. You were only for you. See it now, we both know it's true. Couldn't understand me, nor could I. You now I see you were a ghost. You were a ghost in hipster clothes. You were a ghost, bottomless prose, and you were a ghost. Let's make a toast to all we know.
that was so fun.
It's a little
Why
So
not?
engaging, and your voice is gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Oh my God, can we just keep? Let's just get. Can
Just
you
keep-
order us a drink at Pasta House next door?
A couple bottles right there.
Just open up our own an episode. Gosh, so how old were you? What? I feel like I have a million questions in one. Like, where did you get the sound from? Where did you begin and get inspired to do this folk jazz inspiration?
So the first inspiration that I feel like I had was I had a music partner when I first started playing out as myself. I have a musical theater background, and in 2011 I started jamming with my at the time boyfriend, and we were super into a band called She and Him, and that is comprised of Zoe Deschanel, who is amazing. She's an actress and she's also a musician, and M. Ward. And they played at the very first Lou Fest, and that was in 2010. And we were so inspired. So we started an acoustic duo, kind of inspired by She and Him. And they had this kind of retro sound. It was kind of twangy at times, it was a little jazzy at times. And I just thought it was super cool. And they inspired us to get started. And we started a band called Letter to Memphis. We played around for many years. And then I kind of ventured out as a solo artist from there, put out a solo album in 2018. And now I have a new band, and we just go by my name, Devon Cahill. And we're super excited to have some great upcoming performances to share with everyone, and we love sharing our music.
So if you're a musician, you play the guitar, do you play other instruments as well?
I play the ukulele as well.
Oh, that's so cool too. I wish you had that with you.
Right.
Is it like, remember we had like the sports people on and we're like, you always remember your first baseball glove, or, do you remember your first guitar? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So so being a musical theater person for like my whole childhood, I was a Muni kid, all of that jazz. So when I first picked up an instrument, it was as an adult. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for me.
Sure.
So I picked up ukulele first. My mom got me a watermelon ukulele. So it was a really cute little ukulele that was painted like a watermelon. And I played it for the very first time at a Woody Guthrie showcase that was put on by KDHX that was sold out at Off Broadway in 2012. I remember we played a song by Woody Guthrie that had one chord with a seventh. It literally, the whole song was one chord with a seventh in there. And I played ukulele on that song, and that was my first time playing on stage. And now I've been playing guitar for about 10 years. And I you can't get me away from it. I'm like addicted. So
That's crazy. So folk music, was that where everything started for you? Was it folk music that got you into it?
It was kind of folk music. And Letter to Memphis, my old band, was very rootsy. We were known as an indie folk band, and I still kind of go by that genre of indie folk. Well, indie folk with soul is what I like to say.
Yeah, well, you can hear the soul in your voice, absolutely. So what I always like to know, so even though it's not your name of your band anymore, but how did you come up with the Letter to Memphis for the name of the band? Because it's always intriguing to me how people come up with names for their bands.
Yeah. So Letter to Memphis was an interesting story. So we thought that the reference to Memphis was kind of cool because there was a little bit of a country twang to our sound, a little bit of a bluegrass sound. We had a violinist, we had a stand-up bass, and I played the ukulele. What was your question again? Sorry.
Like, how did you get the name Letter to Memphis?
So Memphis. And then it's a little known song, but it's a Pixies song title.
And that's where
we got it from.
Oh, okay.
So it is a song title by the Pixies, and we were very into many different genres of music. And so we thought that's kind of like weird and interesting. And the funny thing was, funny how I just forgot my train of thought.
I'm there all the time. Don't worry.
funny like that, but funny, haha, but also funny, embarrassing, is that no one ever got it right. It was always letters to Memphis, letter from Memphis, anything but letter to Memphis. It was always,
well, that's kind of with the city there. Tell us a little bit about being handpicked by Norbert Leo Butz for the Bob Dylan project. What was that?
Goodness.
And that was in New York?
That was in New York. Yes, what an amazing experience. So Norbert is somebody that I have known since 2013, and I am just so grateful to have his camaraderie and his friendship and his collaboration as part of my life. We've collaborated many times at this point. I was headed up to New York for a vacation. I was going to hear some live music.
You have to bring your guitar?
I did not bring my guitar. I just sang some backups. So Norbert was featured in the Bob Dylan biopic that starred Timothée Chalamet is what Norbert called him. But he was featured in the Bob Dylan biopic, and so he did a music video series that was all Bob Dylan songs with some fantastic players. And he had me sit in on one of the songs, singing some backups. And it was just so much fun.
Was that it right there?
It was. So that is us doing another Bob Dylan song. That's us doing a different Bob Dylan song at the Blue Strawberry in St. Louis. That's us behind the scenes, or backstage rather, at the Sheldon Concert Hall. That is backstage at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center, where we played at the Stages Gala.
And you're going to be playing here coming up at Joe's Cafe.
Yes.
I've never heard of Joe's Cafe. Where is that at? That's in what area is that in?
So it's in I would call it University City.
Okay.
It's on Kingsbury. It's
got a big chicken out front.
Yeah,
So
it's
cute.
sort of tucked away. And it is the coolest venue.
have to go there.
It's owned by an artist named Bill Christman, and I actually went to grade school with Bill Christman's kids, and his son was in my class in grade school, so I've known them for a super long time. And this is the first time that my band is playing at Joe's Cafe, and it's a very exciting show. The atmosphere is extremely unique. I don't know if you've ever been to Beatnik Bob's at the City Museum. It's on the 3rd floor.
I was just there for a photo shoot for a magazine, but did not know Beatnik's Bob's was there.
Beatnik Bob's is a cool spot. It's just
Oh wait, is that where the big underwear hanging on the wall? I
Yeah.
have been there.
it's full of a ton of crazy, cool,
Enormous.
fun
I say
art.
underwear that King Kong would wear.
Like I think they're the largest underwear like in the Guinness Book of
Yeah.
Records or something. Anyway, so I'm playing inside the largest pair of underwear. Just kidding.
There's a
No.
stage right there. Will you be sitting there playing?
So it's so it's the place at the City Museum, Beatnik Bob's, is owned by the same and created by the same artist that has Joe's
Joe's
Cafe,
Cafe.
which is separate.
It would definitely have to
So-
be an artist when you look at the pictures of it,
Yeah.
looking at it. That yeah, definitely someone very creative and an artist is handling that.
For sure.
Well, so what will be one of the songs that you'll be playing August 14th, which is a Thursday night, 8 p.m. at Joe's Cafe? What is something that someone's going to be able to hear that night?
So we are going to play mostly original songs, and we're going to have a 6-piece band. We will
Gosh.
have myself on guitar and ukulele. We will have Simon Shervitz on the bass, David Newman on the drums, Rin Netherton on the violin or fiddle, Sabra Sellers on harmony vocals, and Jeremy Thomas on harmonica.
Oh my gosh,
So
all
it's
great
gonna be a
instruments.
real hootenanny.
Hootenanny.
So this is one that you might hear that night.
Okay.
Lay is bold, feeling so ashamed. How you gonna live your best life if you strayed? Always sleeping in the noonday shade. And what will you do if you cannot get it done? You'd rather sleep than be another hired gun. The earth will keep on orbiting around the sun, and it's fine. You'll be just fine, lazy bones.
It was so fun. I was just getting
That's
some
just,
video
again,
of you
a
on the
little
screen.
snippet for you.
What was some of your vocal influences growing up?
Oh gosh, Jenny Lewis, Nico Case, Patsy Cline. When I first started playing out as myself and I was just singing, I was sitting in a lot with Hudson and the Hoodoo Cats,
Oh, okay.
and we were doing some rockabilly and some Patsy Cline. And so yeah, I love a good, classic country singer. I love Joni Mitchell. I love Brandi Carlile. The list goes on and on and on.
So they would be on your road trip playlist.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. And then so many amazing female indie artists that most people haven't really heard of, that I'm just like, I'm obsessed. Also Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan. So if
Chapel
someone
Roan.
wanted to download and be able to get a hold of your music to have it on their playlist, where would they go to do that?
So they can go to Spotify.
Okay.
And find me, Devon Cahill, and also iTunes, and so all of the streaming platforms, basically.
It's fabulous. Your voice is absolutely beautiful.
Thank
It's just
you.
incredible. It must be so fun to just, to just sit there. I'm in awe of people that can just pull out their guitar and then just start singing.
I know.
sound
We had
like
two of them today. It's
like a-
awesome.
I don't know, a sick dog or something like that.
Oh,
When I started
okay.
singing, it would never happen. I wish we had. In fact, you need to pick up our guitar that got restrung tonight.
Yes.
Have it in there. You could start playing together. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for him to start playing when someone comes in and then it would be like a little mini band on the show.
That's
Problem is, it would
awesome.
get out of hand, and then we won't even be talking about stuff.
I
We'll
don't
just be
care.
playing
I
it.
just we just have our own concert here. I think it would be fabulous.
Right?
Well, Devin, thank you so much for coming in, sharing your music with us. And again, we just want to remind everybody that you will be on Thursday night, August 14th at Joe's Cafe. Is there anything else that's coming up that we need to get in there that's scheduled?
That is the biggest thing coming up. I will be performing at a TEDx event.
Oh, wow.
That is September 5th. But right now we are fully focused on this Joe's Cafe
Yeah.
show and making it a success and sharing some new tunes with some folks and having a big party with some fun special guests that we
Yeah.
hopefully get to have.
I have to
So
check it out. Well, thank you for sharing your talent with us. Check it out, Joe's Cafe, and be a part of a really great evening at a really cool place there on the 14th, which is a Thursday night. Thank you for tuning in to In Your City show. I hope the rest of your evening is fabulous right here at the Lou Information Station. We thank you so much for being here with us at louinfo.com. Be sure to subscribe. You can go to In Your City show at Facebook and Instagram. If you've got a great talent out there that you need to let us know about, be sure and message us. We'd love to talk more about it. So until the next show, we thank Jeff Faulkner and Devon Cahill for being here tonight with us. We'd like to say cheers.
Cheers.